Hello YouTube and welcome to GrunfWorks Play KSP, and in previous episode we have built the communications network around Jool, as you can see on this preview here. Yes. And in today's episode we will be building a craft that will be going to Jool, or at least doing a flyby, carrying 3 Kerbals, hopefully bringing some valuable science with them and earning some much needed, science points for advancing our, career forwards. Right, so first as always we are building the return module, and the return module will consist of capsule, a couple of science experiments, and umbrellas or shoots, of course. Right. Sorry, it has been a while for me from recording. I've been on vacation and I'm a little bit rusty, but right. So yes, those are shoots. Then we have a heat shield, and then on top of it we have a decoupler, followed by the rest of the ship, which I will design off camera. I won't bug you with it. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, yes, materials bay. Then we need to add like a couple of batteries, or I should be putting these deployable experiments. Except this mission will be mostly a Jool flyby, so I don't need the deployable science right now. Yeah, I'll take a moment for that to sink in, because I'm just thinking out loud. Right. So this more or less should be the return module. Yeah. Wait, hold on a second. Shall we put 2 decouplers here? Yes. Then we put 2 of those like that. Where are my nervous? Yes. 2 nervous, fed by fuel lines. Okay, well that delta V sucks. Let's see it in vacuum. Well, that's better, but the propulsion thrust to weight is rather low, so I'm not overly overjoyed about it, so no. Let's see, if we put you like that, what do we get here? Yeah, well then I cannot use my nervous, can I? Alright, take it easy, GrunfWorks. Let's see what you can use. Yeah, something like that. That would be the return module. We have a total of 3002 delta V. That ain't half bad. So if I put fairing like here, and then we put this on top, then it just might work. Oh right, I forgot the batteries. Yeah, 2 batteries will do. I'd like to put more, so I could put like, like a Gigantor solar panels, because when going to Jool, a regular solar panel just won't cut it. Then it gets too bulky. No, let's design a little bit smaller return craft. Where are you? Yes. What else would be returning? This guy. Yes. Okay, this looks a little stubby craft that would be returning back to Kerbin. Yes. I just need now electricity, and this thing being built again, and I'm designing the same old shit again. Think, GrunfWorks, think. Jeez, I've been really rusty. No, wait a second. Okay. You go away, you're gonna be put here. Let's put some smaller solar panels. For the return of vehicle, 2 like batteries. Yeah, that's good enough, I'd say. Then we are talking decoupler, followed by, now what I really wanted to do was this battery, materials bay, another 2 batteries. And then I need the antenna, yes. Good, looks good. Then some science experiments, which we didn't do in a couple of previous episodes, so we'll get some extra science for that. Cool. Let's place them like this. No, wait, hold on a second. If I think about it, I would like to put them somewhere here, because here I'd like to put me Gigantor solar panels. Yes, these guys. And actually I'd like one more antenna, yes. Now we have enough space for 2 Gigantors. Wonderful. Now where's my fairing? Thank you. You shall be closed. You shall be attached. And you are the transfer stage. Sort of. Your main design purpose is to get us to Jool and maybe even back. I don't know. It's a little bit of a stretch saying that it will be used for the back. I think it will be used for getting to Jool. Okay, batteries. Yes, corrected. Cool. Ladders. Yes, please. Extend it. Okay, it looks good. So that's our return craft. Well, that's it for this episode. No. Wait. Let's call it Exploration Jool System Explorer. Mark 1, of course. Ship for exploring Jool system. Yes, thank you. Now we have to design a boosting stage. The stage that will get this shit to orbit and hopefully ejecting towards Jool. Now, let's see what kind of rocket do I want to design. Where's my adapter towards 3.75 meter fairing? Ah, there it is. Then towards 5 meter. Nah, that looks just butt ugly. Looks like a freaking butt plug. No, sorry. Okay, well, better. The rocket needs to be sleek. Yes, okay, we have the Rhino engine, which is very efficient, but too small. Okay, we have this guy. This guy should be able to get this thing into orbit without any major concerns, but adding 2 additional side boosters would improve things greatly. So yes, side boosters it is. Alright, so some extra fuel like that. No, wait, nah, yeah. When we're talking extra fuel, we're talking 2 full tanks. Thank you. Okay. So just have to remember to put separatrons there, and this will be feeding into the main tank, which means, yeah. I prefer to use something like this, like sort of asparagus staging, because this gives us a lot of extra delta V. Alright. For launch clamps, then we need some fins, yes. You know, for stabilizing stuff in mid-flight. No, that's actually too low. Good. Alright, a little bit more struts, you know, Kerbal way. More struts. We want this thing to be rigid, not to dance like a wet noodle. Oh, right, SAS, I almost forgot. SAS unit for turning this kind of shit is kind of very important. So, reloading the craft, cool, got it. Checking now final changes on the staging. And attaching the 2 struts here. Now, I think think that's all. Let's just double check our staging. Oh no, we need separatrons, right? Because when these two side boosters detach, it won't be pretty. So we should take some small separatrons to take those two away, kinda. Alright, crew-wise, let's take Hossie, Enley, and Dan Kerman. Yes, my 3 Kerbals that are going to go towards the Jool system. Are you excited, guys? Well, I for once surely am. Mostly because I have absolutely no knowledge if this thing will get to the Jool in the first place, because it's been like, what, almost a month and a half since I designed my last ship. Yes, sorry, my brain is at the seaside. Alright, kicking it, and let's see how it goes. Okay, reducing to 1.8. The launch seems to be successful, so wonderful. Hossie, Enley, and Dan Kerman might be going to Jool after all. We're coming up on booster separation, and okay, perfect. Corrections. Oh, I forgot to strut the rest of it. Noodle time! Did anybody say noodles? Noodle, 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 noodle. Okay, that's irritating. Sorry. Anyway, while the ship bounces around like a wet noodle, we have reached our apoapsis of 100, and then we're gonna circularize around Kerbin. So hopefully we're gonna try to avoid the noodle situation. Wonderful, there we go. Let's point maneuver prograde and get ourselves ready for the burn. Hossie, are you okay? Nah, he's just happy. That's what I like to see. Burning for the circularization. We can actually circularize on the 6th stage, so that's wonderful. There we go. So, time to do some Jool fiddlage and hope that we can get maneuver node Black Magic to actually work and get us to the Jool system. In all honesty, it took a better portion of a quarter of an hour to actually fiddle and find the best ejection term. So I think I'm gonna just skip that and get you where the maneuver node is actually planned. Alright, getting to the ejection point, it will be 1959. That's not a year, that's the amount of delta V that we need to burn to actually get us an ejection towards the Jool system. So let's kick it. And we're gonna use the stage, and then bye-bye this stage, and there we go at our cells, our transfer stage. It's gonna go away. Wonderful. So burning, and then we're gonna do some unpacking. There we go. Alright, now let's do, at the ascending node, we're gonna do the corrections to correct the inclination. Perfect. Bye-bye, Kerbin, and good luck. There we go, we're leaving Kerbin. But actually I forgot that we have some science to do, so let's do some sweet science first. Where are these experiments? Oh! Some untouched science. Perfect, some virgin science to collect. Yeah, Enley, scientist, please go and reset the containers. We have collected all the sweet science that we could, so yes. Come on, do restore it. Wonderful. Grab this wonderful ladder that I have so elaborately designed. That doesn't even stick together. Oh boy, I'm really rusty. Alright, corrections, and let's kick it. Time warping all the way to the ascending node. And it's gonna be a total burn of 110 meters per second, so that's not overly concerning. Pointing maneuver prograde, doing some more science, and then we're gonna do it. Alright, let's kick this pig. There we go. To me that looks about right. Now, let's do some fiddling until we get an encounter. And it's gonna take 200 years approximately. So, well, that's not acceptable. I'm gonna get back to you once I have a maneuver. Alright, after some good old-fashioned fiddlage and sweating at 36 degrees by yours truly, we managed to get ourselves a Jool encounter, or a maneuver that will be resulting in a Jool encounter, so I'm gonna be time warping until we get that maneuver, execute that maneuver. It's a total of 251 meters per second. The initial maneuver that I found was actually for 30 meters per second, but it would take us a whole 150 years to execute it. I'm sorry, I don't hate myself that much. Right. Okay, I'm limiting thrust a little bit because that will give me a nicer maneuver node, and kick it. There we go. Oh, bzz, bzz, and that's it. Wonderful. Let's add another maneuver and do a correction if we need to. A minor one, just let's see that we get ourselves a nicer Jool encounter. We'll be crossing the Jool trajectory at a steep angle, and no, I don't plan to circularize and get into the Jool system and do, you know, the grand tour of this Jool planets. I just intend to do a flyby, because as much delta V as you might think I have, doing this, I'm not doing Hoffman transfers, which means I'm burning an exceedingly exuberant amount of delta V just getting to the Jool system and getting back. So yes, this ship is not holding that much delta V after all. Okay, thrust limiting, let's do some magic. Okay, 100 meters per second. Doing the burn. There we go. Alright, now let's warp until we get ourselves here. Add a maneuver. No, where you are. Jool system, yes. Now let's do some teeny tiny corrections until we get a closer encounter. After all, I don't want to be just swinging around Jool. I would like to get ourselves another planetary encounter. Whichever one fits. No, we're not gonna do the aero brake around Jool, because I don't have the big kahuna heat shield yet. After I get that one, then I might be doing some more of this fancy shit. Otherwise, I'm just doing flyby. Because at this point, I really want to return my Kerbals back. I don't want to build another colony. And I'm pressing the quotes because you can see me, but anyway, so let's warp. And we skipped the warp for your viewing pleasure because, well, there's nothing much to do. The ship was just warping around. Anyway, getting ready to do the manure node. 38.7 meters per second, not all that bad. Right, let's enter the Jool system. I'm actually going to execute it here, and then I'm going to go into the Jool system to get ourselves some science. Oh, and we do have a Tylo encounter. Well, ain't that pretty? So let's see, do we have gravioli or something at least getting us ourselves some sweet science? Sweet. Materials Bay, well, some science. It's not to be thrown away. So, Enlil, you know what to do. Please go out and collect the science and restore the experiments. Thank you. After all, you are just hitching the ride. Dan, you are our engineer. I have no idea what my plan was for you, but yeah, here is something if things go south. Otherwise, just sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. Right, now let's get over ourselves to the Jool system. Perfect! Science time! Collect, crew report, EVA report, other reports, just clicking away happily. Wonderful, wonderful. Mystery goo. Right. Collecting the experiments, resetting everything. And the next point for collecting science will be once we cross the sphere of influence over to Tylo. Breathe deeply, Enlil, thank you. Alright, the trajectory seems to be pretty nice. Let's see if I can actually view the approach to the Jool. Actually, I'm the guy who likes to watch. Yes. Okay, we are coming up on Jool. Thank you. I'm just trying to observe at what angle are we arriving. Good. Aha, I see. So maybe I should be putting here a maneuver node that will get ourselves ejected back to the Kerbin orbit, because last time I didn't do that and it costed me pretty penny, or actually a mission. So this time we do it properly. Oh, look at that. Wonderful screenshots. I'm actually thinking about some selfies. Yes, after all, the point of the space program is science and selfies. Yes. Henley, you're the guy collecting science, but first, we need a selfie. The promotion of the space program is equally as important. Thank you. You will be on every cover page in the magazine from here to Kerbin, from to eternity. Those of you who will actually still remember that the mission got kicked off, because after all, it has been 12 years since the initial of the mission. Initiation of the mission, yes. Right, okay, doing some experiments over the Tylo surface, and then collecting the experiments and resetting them once again, and then we'll be bugging out actually. Yeah guys, I know what you're thinking. GrunfWorks, you're already here, you should be collecting all the science around every single planetary body. Yes, but I don't have the Delta V to do so. I barely have the Delta V to eject ourselves back and hopefully get ourselves back to Kerbin and not fry ourselves on the re-entry. So, yeah. Okay, getting ready, and as you can see, the transfer stage and the return stage will be ignited for this. So, we'll be getting rid of our materials bay at some point right about now. Oops, a little explosion there, I completely forgot about it. Well, that's what you get. Alright, well, that will secure us a nice encounter, perfect. Or not a nice encounter, it will secure us that we get somewhere around Kerbin. Then we still have to figure out how to do it. Screenshot time, and let's leave the Kerbin or Jool sphere of influence. Okay, so now I have to figure out the return. Fiddlage time! Okay, actually that looks kind of good. Well, I don't have forever to execute this, so I'm gonna do the alignment here. Yes, thank you. Right about here, perfect. So let's get ourselves over there. Time warping until the maneuver node. That will correct the inclination for going back to Kerbin. I actually like this little dinky... it's not a lander, but it's a ship, so yes. Okay, a maneuver node alignment for getting back to Kerbin. Doing the final inclination change, making sure that we arrive at a good angle. Alright, getting ready for the burn. I usually, guys, skip the boring maneuver node fiddleage and time, and yeah, I know for the completionists in you that you like to see everything, but it just takes too long time. And the mission is already at 30-minute mark anyway, so yeah. There we go. Inclination done. Alright, so now we have to find a maneuver node where we will be actually to get ourselves an encounter with Kerbin. Okay, that's a little bit too expensive. We need something cheap. Okay, let's try the maneuver node here. See if we can secure ourselves an encounter with a minor correction to just place the periapsis somewhere close to this. I'm doing a series of small burns rather than one big one, so hopefully that will work better in terms of arriving. We have plenty of Delta V in this ship, but still we have to be extra careful. Because if we burn everything, then we are pretty much screwed, yes. Right, now let's see. Adding a maneuver node to hopefully secure a Kerbin encounter. That's gonna be in 20? No, not 20 years. Now let's see if we get ourselves a better encounter. A couple of orbits extra, come on. I don't want it to be too expensive. Let's try again. We just align it a little bit better, and look, we have a perfect encounter that's gonna be in 51 years. Holy moly. Okay guys, I'm gonna do a couple of loops around Kerbin and gonna watch my favorite show. So in 51 years we will be executing our maneuver node. Why do I hate myself so much? And you're gonna enjoy it all in real time, of course. Let's just bring down the periapsis to secure ourselves a nice encounter. There we go. I actually think that's good enough. Let's skip over to the encounter. Alright, pointing in the right way, and then we're gonna do the burn. Alright, we're gonna take a little bit of a cut here, and we're gonna do the maneuver node right about soon-ish. I thought waiting 51 years would be a little bit too tedious for the viewership, so for your benefit I've cut it out. While it took me a little bit of while the revolutions around Kerbin continued, and I went off to watch my favorite show in the meantime. Yeah, right. But it was a cheap encounter, so I couldn't pass up an opportunity to actually execute it, so there's that as well. Onwards towards the beauties of the re-entry. By the way, this will be a slightly longer episode than usual, around 40-ish minute mark, because I wanted to do everything in one go, because I think it's better. So, yeah. And a lot heavier acceleration as well. Right. We got ourselves a nice encounter, so let's warp over there, shall we? There we go, adding a final maneuver node. That will be securing us a good periapsis. I didn't want to burn it earlier because I was worried that I will be hitting Minmus. So I wanted to pass the Minmus sphere of influence and then do the burn. I have no idea if it will be the right choice, but let's accelerate as the Kerbin gets ever so closer to us. Okay, let's burn a little bit radial inwards. I'm actually trying to secure a periapsis around 40-ish minute mark, or 40 kilometer mark. And let's go towards the re-entry. I hope it will be enough. I have some delta V to burn off as I'm entering the atmosphere. Oh, that's close. Okay, hit the gas, boys. It's gonna be cutting it a little bit close, but well, we can do it. Okay, 35-ish minute or 35 kilometer periapsis. Now it's up to us to see if this will withstand the rigors of the re-entry, and if we're gonna get some fried Kerbals or some sweet science and 3 heroes. So, right, coming in. There we go. Alright, coming in for the re-entry, and look at that, we have been captured. That's wonderful. So time to get into orbit as well. Well, we are in orbit, but let's see if we're gonna do the landing as well. There we go. Sweet tilting, another tilt of the camera, and that means our 3 Kerbals will be returning. Now it only remains what to be seen if the ablator is up to the task, so they don't burn off in the atmosphere. And you can hear the church bell tolls as our brave Kerbals return. Yes, they have churches in space apparently. I really like the Astronomer's Visual Pack. That's the mod I'm using for the visuals. Okay, popping the drogue chutes. That gets us decelerated ever so slightly in the orbit, and then I'm gonna be popping the main chutes as we pass the cloud layer. Here we go. And then we're gonna get ourselves some sweet science. Yes. Drop the heat shield. Hopefully not on anybody's head. Please don't. Okay. The chutes opened, and now it will take some time until they reach Kerbin. Let's just see if we can do some more science. By the way, guys, it's gonna be a while until I will be able to record KSP again. As I said, I'm on vacation. Was a rare opportunity for me to record, so hope you guys like it. Sorry for the less frequency of things, but you know, vacation and family time is important. So yeah, sorry, more will be coming. I just have not the slightest inclination as to when. Oh, look at that, 1100 science, beautiful. Well guys, that brings us to the close of this episode. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.